Beats Planet.
See. This is my issue here. Okay, this is my issue here. This my little problem here. You know what I'm saying? I try to bring y'all a cool little product. You know what I mean? Because y'all know that this channel is in transition mode. All right. What my man Jules said in Pulp Fiction. Normally you be dead as fried chicken, but you caught me in a transitional period, and I don't want to kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Y'all have caught this channel in a transitional period. Majub in the chat box like Voch be like 5 o'clock Tuesday. And 5 o'clock Tuesday come, we still rocking the startup music until 5:15. Well, what do you want me to do? What you want me to say? You know what I mean? I'm going to get here when I get here. I had to run to the refrigerator, grab my water. I had to grab my water. Had to grab my pen and my pad for my notes. I had to. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure my phone was on silent, so y'all don't hear all the miscellaneous in the background while we trying to do a show. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we here though. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for coming through. What do y'all think of my thumbnail, by the way? Right? Because I know a lot of y'all understand what the new thumbnail game is, but a lot of y'all have no clue what it is. Y'all seen Ozark, what they do at the front of the episode. They'll give you 4 little pictures, 4 little symbols, and it'll kind of give you the idea of the plot of that episode. I thought that was fly, so I stole it and did it and threw my little thumbnail on the front. What y'all think the thumbnail about? What y'all think our topic of conversation is going to be today in Cowboy Land on the Voch Lombardi live stream? It'll be very interesting to know what you all think. Also, I got a little film in the tank to drop for y'all. It seems like I always run these films to accompany these live streams. Sounds about right. Why not? So we're going to drop a little bit of film today. Also, I recorded a soliloquy today. I ain't dropping that till Monday because I got to edit it. And y'all getting filmed today. So I just wanted to give y'all a quick update of what we're doing on the channel. Now, of course, y'all know that these shows belong to you. My name on it. I understand Lil Voch picture on the screen and all that, but this is y'all show. So if you want to call in and contribute any kind of way, 515-606-5187, access code 309-104 is on the screen for you. It's in the description. If you want to contribute to the show at any capacity, if you want to talk about my topics, if you want to talk about your own topics, if you got relationship issues, dog, we just here for you. Then after the show, we're going to go watch some film. All right? Let's see what my chat box talking about, because my chat box is very important to this operation that we doing over here. Enemy Michael, shouts out to you. He says, popping in to say hi, gotta work. I'll catch the rewind. Appreciate you, Mike. Last time you came in, you almost got fired trying to call into the show. Jeez, brother. Let's see. You ain't talking about that? All right, cool. Let's get started then. So I was taking a walk the other day, right? Let me take some more. I was taking a walk the other day, right? And I was thinking about my favorite meme in the world. This Robert Griffin looking at Kirk Cousins meme. This was when Kirk was playing and Robert was just kind of on the sideline or whatever. And Kirk was out there messing it up. Kirk was out there throwing to the other team. Kirk was out there being a liability. And this Robert Griffin Kirk Cousins pick became a meme in itself. One of my favorites. And it ultimately symbolizes that good old, what you gonna do now, player? It symbolizes that good old, this what you bringing to the table? Don't let me get my job back, player. Don't you dare let me get my job back. A very predatory looking Robert Griffin's face if you look at the meme in the thumbnail. A very, I wouldn't say standoffish, but it's a very chill. Look, fam, if you're gonna be playing like this, I might as well just take my little job back and we just gonna, you know what I'm saying? So I thought about it as I was outside running to get in shape for the YouTube 7-on-7 football game, the big game James putting together because I'm trying to smoke him. I was outside running. I thought about it, and I was like, what Cowboy players that may be second or auxiliary players that are looking at starters like, boy, I wish you would make another mistake because I'm going to take your spot. I wonder what backups does Cowboy Nation feel really good about? I got a top 5 right here, but I still kind of want to hear what y'all got to say. What backups that we feel good about that probably would be starting, and the person starting in front of them may be quasi-incompetent, and there may be an opportunity to take that person's job in the middle of the season. I'm not going to address Dak Prescott and Andy Dalton. I'm not going to address that. I don't want to say nothing about it. But the first one I wrote down that just kind of sticks all the way out to me is Donovan Wilson, right? Y'all know Cowboy fans have been hating on the safety position for at least a decade now. It seems to be that our front office and personnel people don't seem to have the same urgency that y'all do when it comes to acquiring safeties. So we went to go spend $4 million on 1 year, and I feel like 22 cents of it is guaranteed for hysterical Clinton Dix, and he's our current like free safety or whatever. And with him being the free safety because he's the better free safety and he was kind of like paid to be that, it bumped Xavier Woods from free safety to strong safety because Jeff Heath is no longer here to play strong safety. So Xavier Woods will be playing your strong safety, right? So somewhere Donovan Wilson, who can play free and strong safety, that we feel relatively quasi good about. I don't know where this Donovan Wilson fan club is contrived of. It could be because of his preseason production, in which y'all wrong for that. Or it could just be because y'all dislike safety so much that y'all just want anybody to step up in there and see what they can do. But we saw a handful of plays from Donovan Wilson, so I guess you would be excited from what you saw from Donovan Wilson. What if Xavier Woods go out there and miss some tackles and start looking funny out there? What if Xavier Woods get burnt on coverage? What if Xavier Woods, lines up in the box, but it shows that he can't really fit there, Maybe he ain't as physical as we thought Xavier Woods was. As we thought Xavier Woods was. How long do you think it takes before Donovan Wilson steps in to try to take over for Xavier Woods? Because what I think is interesting, and the other Cowboy YouTubers that have been talking about this the past few weeks or so, I think we all on the same page when we say that players from the last administration don't get carried over. Brother Brian Broaddus called them sponsors, right? Guys aren't sponsored anymore. Brandon Knight had a sponsor in Mark Colombo, which is why he made the team. Ain't no sponsors on this team anymore. I mean, like Nussmeier and Kellen Moore still exist. Jerry and Steven kind of, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I don't think anybody is guaranteed anything. So Xavier Woods looking whack around week 4. If laugh out loud Clinton Dix looking like a waste of $28 on week 5, how long is it gonna be before we start looking at Donovan Wilson? I think it's fair, and I think what's so interesting about it is that Donovan can go line his ass up his tail up at free because Von from Shreveport, he don't cuss, so we ain't gonna cut. so we ain't gonna cut. How long is it gonna be before he shoot his shot at free or shoot his shot at strong? Because I think he can play both. And Donovan has caught up to Xavier in the fact that Donovan has had his offseason program now. Donovan ain't little bitty no more. Donovan probably been lifting weights and drinking milk the whole last season when he wasn't playing. Donovan Wilson's grown and he's ready to play in his football body now. Then what? I think is a real life conversation to be had. But this ain't just something that happens with starters. I think this is also something that can happen with backup and relatively like rotational guys, right? Like I don't think nobody's coming to take D-Law's spot. Like D-Law ain't going nowhere. D-Law gonna be straight, Dorrance Armstrong should be looking over his shoulder right now. I dropped a soliloquy about this the other day. I thought it was interesting. I just wanted to break down Team Toxic and the kind of, the ebbs and flows, the processes that I think that they're gonna go through, right? Because there's gonna be some ups and downs in Team Toxic because there's about 9 or so pass rushes that we got on this team right now, defensive ends, whether it be left or right or stand up rushy guys. We got about 9 pass rushes right now. We only gonna keep about 6 of them for real. Somebody gets pushed off a bridge. And my main 2 guys that I thought were going to be the most hunted, that were going to run into the most predator behavior, was Dorrance Armstrong and Joe Jackson. If I'm a guy like Jalen Jokes and I show up better than Joe Jackson, I got a good spot. Or I got a good chance to, make some shake a little bit. If I'm Bradley and Dorrance Armstrong ain't really pulling it together like that, good luck to you. If I'm one of the undrafted guys, Rondell Carter, Ladarius Hamilton, I don't think they gonna make any noise, but it's possible. But the 2 guys that makes this real weird and interesting is Alden Smith and Randy Gregory, because I think they're the only guys to where if the light switch is on, we good. They're the only 2 guys that's like that. What do I mean by that? Like, Jalen Jokes got to give us 8 weeks of great training camp practice for us to go, all right, Jalen Jokes, I take that. Joe Jackson and the undrafted kids, they got to give us about 8 weeks of solid. Oh boy, y'all been watching Joe Jackson the last few weeks, boy. Hey, he been, you know what I'm saying? If Alden Smith gets 2 sacks in 1 practice, that's ball game. That is ball game. I'm losing my mind. I'm doing film sessions. Let Alden Smith get 2 sacks in practice. Let Randy Gregory get 2 sacks in practice in 1 week. Joe Jackson might need 8 sacks to make the team, in my opinion. 8 practice sacks to make the team. Let Randy bat down the pass and just watch me scream and lose my mind. It's unfair, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Alden Smith's road is going to be a little easier than Joe Jackson's road, in my opinion. And if Alden Smith shows up a little bit better than Joe Jackson, then that's ball game. Because that was my whole thing, right? Like, I've been fighting the I Am Legend monster about this. Like, whoa, Voch, why you think Alden Smith ain't going to come in here and get you 19 sacks? He ain't got to do that. Because if he give me 1 sack, he's better than Joe Jackson. If he give me 2, he's better than Kerry Hyder. Twitter brand, he better not force a fumble at practice. If Alden Smith gets 4 sacks, he's better than Dorrance Armstrong. You see what I'm saying? So that and then, hey, look, in a way, that kind of is toxic, right? That's some toxic coaching for one dude to get 2 sacks, but the other dude get like 7 sacks, but the 2-sack dude get the nod because he's more talented or he has more rank in the team and more seniority in the league. Ain't that toxic? That's what Team Toxic all about, right? I think Joe Jackson and Dorrance Armstrong got a huge fight on their hands, and if they aren't proven to be a little better than what they are, or at least a little better than what they were last year, it could be flat out ball game for them. So, Dorrance a little too old for practice squad, and I think Joe Jackson has been on too many active rosters. I don't know, somebody can, hit me with the information on that, but I don't think that's necessarily going to work out that well for him. Hey, man, Neville Gallimore just going to be sitting back with his arms folded, just kind of looking around, Neville Gallimore just going to be posted up on the wall just looking. And if Tristan Hill looking lazy, it's going to be ball game. If Dontari Poe look out of shape a little bit, it's going to be ball game. If Garrett Marino, the undrafted free agent from UAB, not showing any kind of improvement, you know what I'm saying? Ball game. I could play 3-tech too, coach. Oh, all right, cool, Neville Gallimore. Let's see. Gerald McCoy, vegan. He eat broccoli and spinach sandwiches now. He eat bread sandwiches, and he may be a little light, and we want to be a little heavier in there. I'm Neville Gallimore. Ball game. So if I'm young Nova Galma, I'm just sitting back looking at everybody like, hey man, y'all just do y'all thing, and wherever y'all slack, I'll just pick up. Antoine Woods, if you want to come out and throw a fit because you've been kind of double replaced, you still have a place in this rotation. But if you're not showing up and giving us any kind of ball game. So if I'm Neville Gallimore, I'm looking at everybody, even the starters. I'm looking at the starters and the background guys, because as of now, due to seniority, Tristan Hill kind of been here, and Tristan Hill is my son. Just so we could be clear on this. Tristan Hill is my son. He's CeeDee Lamb brother. They're all cousins with Tony or whatever. They in Voch's little favorite player family. But if Tristan come out slipping, because he's not a part of this, administration. Nobody from the McCarthy administration is co-signing him. If Tristan Hill come out looking a little pudgy and ain't got that first step that we thought he was gonna have, and he showed no improvement last year, and we don't see no weight room body in him, Neville Gallimore probably come in and smoke the hell out of Tristan Hill at practice, boy. That's all I'm saying. All this, y'all, my brothers, all this teammate stuff is cool. It's precious. It's cool. Teammate. We brothers in helmets and pads. Teammate. Let Jameis Olawale go out there and drop a pass, and Shea Wooloney Lua, the fullback from TCU, our new undrafted free agent fullback, let him go out there and catch everything. Jameis Olawale tripping over his shoestrings. You know what I mean? Shea Wooloney Lua leaving damn bananas in the backfield for people to just fall and slip over. And then he come in with his brand new TCU cleats, running good, catching good, looking good on routes, blocking good. Plus he about $1 million cheaper than Jameis Olawale. You're not gonna tell me that ain't predatory behavior. I wish you would slip Jameis Olawale. I'm young too. I'm young and cheap too. Please. I wish you would. T-Rod in the chat box dropped 60 in the super chat. Appreciate you. He said, here's the money I was going to spend on Last of Us 2 for being the actual GOAT. GOAT. Yo, T-Rod, appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Put your face mask on so I can give you a dap and a hug real quick. Boom. All right, you can take your face mask back off. Appreciate it, man. When I do I'm going to get my ass up and travel around and, just meet everybody that's been supporting me. T-Rod, I'm going to meet you personally, sir. Put my face mask on, shake your hand, give you a dap and a hug, then take my face mask back off. All right? So, hey, appreciate you for that 60, T-Rod. You one of the goats, man. You one of the goats in this thing. And shouts out to brother Naeem, too. He said, when is the barbecue? He dropped a dime in the super chat. Let me tell you something, though, Naeem. You know what I'm saying? If training camp, you know what I mean? If training camp is training camp and they let people come to training camp, they may not let fans to training camp, but they may let a few observers come to training camp, and I'm in that list. We might do something in Dallas. We'll see. We might do something in Dallas, but appreciate y'all though. Appreciate y'all for those super chats when the hotline blings. All right, what was I saying? Brother Cam dropped the dime. He says the real deal. Voch speaks the truth. 3 flame emojis in a row. Appreciate you, sir. Hey, Sheila May. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here. Boy, I just get blown away by all this. By all this good feel and affection. What was I saying? Yes, predatory behavior, right? Yes, it's competition, right? Yes, sure. Prince Jackson, it is competition, 100%. I agree. But look at Robert Griffin's face. You know what I mean? Like, that's deeper than competition. That's deeper than competition. That's more so, fam, you got one more mistake to make. You know how many Cowboy fans want Connor Williams up out the paint right now? And all they want is somebody better than Connor Williams. So all Connor McGovern got to do is come off the ball and push somebody around. That's ball game. We've been waiting on solid cornerback play this year, and Anthony Brown came back, and people scratching their head about it, and Cheeto looking kind of weird last year. All Trevon Diggs got to do is come in and say, hey, man, look, let me just come here and get an interception. If Trevon Diggs get one interception, everybody going to lose their damn mind. Everybody gonna lose their damn mind if Trevon Diggs get one interception. That's what I mean. So listen, I want y'all to call into the show just to give me y'all. You could call them training camp battles because that's really what they are in real life. But in my mind, I see it just, like Kendrick Lamar says, you either corny or an opportunist. You either corny or an opportunist. You know what I'm saying? That's real life. If I'm Sean McKeon, the undrafted free agent tight end from Michigan, and I'm a good blocking tight end, I'm here to be a blocking tight end, and the blocking tight end from the Garrett administration is Dalton Schultz. If Dalton Schultz miss a few blocks, then Sean McKeon gonna be doing the Michael Jackson laugh at the end of Thriller. You know, the laugh at the end of Thriller when Michael Jackson walk away and look back and go, you know that laugh? Let Dalton Schultz miss a block out here. Sean McKeon gonna be on his ass, boy. Anyway, I got a phone call. Let me check the phone call, see what's going on, man. We got brother Will Steele. Skywalker, man. What's good, bro?
What up, though, young OG?
Everything. What you got for the show, player?
Hey, man, appreciate you calling in last tonight. Gave us some laughs, brother. But
man, appreciate it. Listen, man. About time y'all gave me a night to do a show. Y'all been working all week. Y'all 5 for 5 in shows. You know what I mean? Give me a night to get some work in.
Yeah. Yeah, they work. It's working. We was working this week. A little break though. We got a little break.
I got you, my guy. What you got for the show?
Mm-hmm. I hopped in and heard you talking about it's camp battles, right?
Yes, sir.
I like the one you had where I hopped in and you were talking about Neville Gallimore and Tristan Hill. I think, and I say this about a lot of the rookies, these guys are either going to make somebody better or they're going to take somebody's spot.
Sure.
And that's one of the ones I'm really intrigued on because I liked Tristan, last year, and I thought he had potential, but he didn't work as hard.
Sure.
And then you got a guy like Neville Gallimore who, when you watch him, and tell me if I'm wrong here, does he play a little bit stronger, a little bit hungrier than Tristan? Like he wanted more, even though he may not be as quick.
He's absolutely motor guy. He is also quick guy.
Right.
I think Tristan Hill's first step, coming out of college was a little faster than Neville's. But Neville got a little more body. So when Neville get on people quick, it's more body on them quick. You know what I'm saying? Right, 100%. Tristan, if he didn't beat you, he'll kind of get blocked sometimes. Neville at least keeps running while he's blocked. So yeah, sure, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like you said, Neville, if Bruss slip up, Tristan Hill slip up, Neville Gallimore can come right in there. The other one I wanted to talk about was the corner. Mm-hmm. You ain't bring him up yet, but we had him on the show, man, and I just got this real feeling about Daryl Worley, man. He's a full-time starter his whole career. I know everybody is infatuated with J. Lou, and I like J. Lou as well, but like you just said, we got Anthony Brown signed to a 3-year deal. You drafted Diggs. And then I don't know what they're going to do with Awuzie, but like you said, if he get in there and get 1 interception, 2 interceptions in the preseason, everybody going to be on the Daryl Worley train. So I would say look out for Daryl Worley pushing for a starting spot.
I don't know what's y'all obsessions with Daryl Worley, man. I don't understand what the deal is. Listen, so he's just been like regular cool to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just never really lost my mind about him, I just see him as a guy that it's my thing, bro. He does fit this new mode of cornerback that we have. You know what I'm saying? And to be fair, Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown, they don't fit that mold. They don't fit that we 6 foot long ass arm mode. You know what I'm saying? So Worley may have a shot with that, sure. I just don't see him being better than Cheeto and Diggs or Lewis. He's probably better than Brown, sure, whatever. But in my perfect world, what I think probably gonna end up happening, I think Jordan and Cheeto gonna be on the outside, and I think Diggs is gonna beat Brown to play in the nickel. That's what I think is gonna happen. And Worley, I think, is better as an outside guy anyway, so he's gonna be competing with Jordan and Cheeto or whatever. So we'll see.
You say in your world, J. Lou on the outside?
And yes. J. Lou, even though he's been playing nickel, but I think they've just been doing that because he's a little bitty. But he really plays big. He's just little bitty. You know what I'm saying? But he's a better outside boundary corner, in my opinion.
J. Lou absolutely should have been on the outside. I think he'd be I think he'd be a really good outside corner, or at least give him a shot. but I don't think that's going to happen. You
Yeah.
know, I know in our world, we like to talk in our world, but I'm talking about what's happening. And what's happening is it don't seem like Jay Lou is their guy out there. They went out and signed about 5 or 6 6'1" cornerbacks for a reason.
Sure.
And that's what I mean by I think Worley could sneak up and get a starting spot, because I think Diggs is going to be a starter on his team, if not right away, at some point, because the COVID is probably going to mess him up because he's young. So maybe they'll go in there with Worley and Woozier. But I still don't know what the hell we're going to do with Woozier, man. I mean, we heard McClay talk about safety. Is that something you think is really going to happen?
This my thing about Cheeto. And first of all, I'm phony as hell because I'm up here talking about Daryl Worley like whatever Daryl Worley. But if he go out there smoking everything at training camp, then come on, Daryl Worley, come on in. My friend, Ken Folk. Come on, Ken Folk. So that's just that. But my whole thing about Cheeto, and not just Cheeto, but this whole defensive backfield, right? How bad was Chris Richard? That's what I need to know first. You know what I'm saying? Because we could have a ball hawking safety on this team already. We could have 3 lockdown corners on this team. We could be fantastic. We just don't know how bad Chris Richard was. Our whole plight with Cheeto, not that he was ever out of, like he was never in a bad spot. Like Cheeto only got
he was close.
He only got burnt one time versus Robbie Anderson in the Jets game or whatever, and that was because somebody else was out of position and he was expecting help. But besides that, Cheeto is always in tight coverage. The problem is he just looking at the opponent's jersey with his hand up and his eyes closed, and the other cat is IDing the football and catching it. So if we grab Cheeto and smack the shit out of him and say, please find the football, would you please just get your head around and find the football? And just one day in training camp, he look back and find the football. How much better would Cheeto be? Because he ain't got to super find the football because he's always in good position. He's always in good coverage. So he just got to look around and find the ball a little bit. We don't know how good these guys really are. So I just kind of want to see that first.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right. I think the love affair for Chris Richard waned off towards the end of 2018 and obviously 2019. And he only had one success, and that was Byron Jones, because he fit that exact mold that Richard wanted. Anyway, long corner, long arms, can stick with you on the hips, and it didn't matter about getting his head around because he wasn't going to complete the ball on him. However, you can't have all 5 corners not turn their head around and get interceptions. Yeah. Something wrong. So, yeah, I agree with you. We got to see with the rest of the guys. But I really do like Cheeto with stuff in front of him. I think he got the athleticism to do it as like a free safety, but I just don't know that they're really going to do it. But we'll see, man. Follow the money. They ain't getting no extension. And they out here signing all these big corners, too.
We'll see what happens, man.
I think they're trying to tell Cheeto to prove it to us.
We'll see what happens, man. Could be Worley, man. It could be Worley, but I just don't want it to be a Nolan Carroll situation. Like, hey, man, you're a veteran. Come in and play. And next thing you know, you just getting smoked. Yeah. Ooh, I know. Ooh, you right. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? I just don't
bring up no Nolan Carroll.
I don't want that to be the case. You know what I'm saying? But training camp gonna be fun, and I hope they let us in because they let us in. I know exactly where to look. I know where to look to get the information at.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. I ain't going to hold your phones up too much. I know you probably getting blown up over there, man.
It's all good, man. Plug your stuff because that's what we do over here, even though they know who the hell you are, but plug it anyway.
Everybody don't know me yet, but if you do know me, what's up? If you don't, Skywalker Still. You can find me on YouTube, just Skywalker Still. That's it right there.
Skywalker Still. And whenever I hang up on you, go in the chat box and drop your link in there and, let everybody come look for you and all that. Appreciate it, man.
Will do, good brother. Hey, enjoy your night.
100%. Shooby-doo-doo bop. So, Trevon Diggs, right? If you take a look at my other little thumbnail situation, man, we got Trevon Diggs up on the thumbnail. And I really can tie all these thumbnails in together right now. I just kind of want to take these real fast. I'm just going to go one at a time. But Diggs, though. Trevon Diggs. Chat box, let me ask y'all this question. Like how often, well, not how, but how likely do y'all think he comes in and takes somebody's spot, right? Because when I watch Diggs, when I watch him at Alabama, first of all, he's a very raw player. But I showed a play. On my Diggs film session early this year, man, and it just showed him just running with people because he's athletic. Getting his head around early because he's been playing wide receiver his whole life. If Diggs if he can identify what route you running he'll start running the route with you. And that allows him to get his head around earlier because he's trusting where he's going, right? And then he gets to go play receiver because he was a receiver after finding the ball in the air, right? So if none of the other cornerbacks on his team can find the ball, or if they just find it late, but Diggs is just day one in practice, he's just the only one find the ball. Everybody else is going through this transitional period, right? Everybody else is going through this learning exercise of trying to find the football. But guys like Reggie Robinson and Trevon Diggs, they just find the ball naturally because of how they play. Because they were the first guys that were, hey, we're drafting y'all to be man cover corners. You know, the other guys wasn't drafted necessarily to be man cover find the ball corners. They were either balanced guys or, you know, Cheeto did a lot of zone stuff, but he ended up manning up on people because they had a bunch of DBs at freaking Colorado State, him, Akilo Witherspoon, and your other homie with the long hair, and Tedrick Smith and all them boys. They had a whole cold little DB setup in Colorado State. One of them. One of them ones. It's been a while, but they were able to do a lot of things. So Cheeto was really balanced. Cheeto didn't really do one thing. If you watch film on Cheeto, he would do some linebacker stuff. Cheeto would do some strong safety stuff. They had Cheeto one high, and I was like, man, why you think I got Cheeto one high for? You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of mixture of things when Cheeto was out there. But if you just give him to focus on one thing, like we've been trying to do since we put him here, we turned Cheeto basically into another version of do everything guy. You know, Cheeto kind of looked lost in zone, but he looked comfortable in man. If Cheeto looked comfortable in man, let him run man. Thank y'all, Colorado. If he looked comfortable in man, let him run man. Let him run man. I think that this defense is going to run man. Joe Sandberg hit me earlier, and he was like, do you think we'll go away from box safety because whatever. And I think we're going to play a lot more safety in the box than ever, because if we're going to be a more attacking defense, more ass whoop aggression defense, then, you know, we're going to be blitzing more. And, you know, the more you blitz, those are cover 0, cover 1 looks. You may get some zone blitzes in there, but most of the time, if you're blitzing, then your safety's going to be in the box, because you're either blitzing him, or he's going to be covering somebody one-on-one, or he's going to float to the hook and curl. That's the only option you got for box safety. So I think that's bound to happen. But if you just keep Cheeto in one spot, Cheeto, your job is man coverage. That's it. I think Cheeto was good. If Jordan Lewis, your job is man coverage, that's it. You good. Anthony Brown was fantastic when he had one job. Y'all remember Anthony Brown was playing outside because Orlando Scandrick got hurt and he was fine? Or even when he was playing inside and he was fine? But we start moving Anthony Brown around and shit. He started looking like a civilian. Give these guys one job. And I think that's what's going to happen with this new administration. I think guys going to have one job. One job. I think only a handful of people going to have to think on this offense. That's the linebackers. Everybody else is going to attack. One job. And if all my cornerbacks got one job, and if that job is man coverage, physical press, man coverage, then give me Cheeto, Jordan Lewis, and Anthony Brown all day, please. Not Anthony Brown, pardon me, Trevon Diggs all day. Give me those guys. Give me those three guys. Cheeto, Jordan, Trevon. Give me them. And we good to go, player. Speaking of Trevon Diggs, he watched my Trevon Diggs film session today, and he dropped some fire emojis in the chat box, so or in my comment section. So shouts out to Trevon Diggs. Apparently, he has a verified YouTube channel. I got 55K and I ain't got no damn verification. I need to get verified on Twitter and the YouTube and all my little social medias, man. I think it's about time. Anyway, I'm going to get into coaching a little bit, but after that, I'm going to check up on Von, see what he talking about. Let me hit the button here. Brother Von, what's good?
What up, big cat?
Everything, my guy.
Hey, I ain't going to stay on too long. I'm going to let these guys get on this line, and I'm going to get back in that chat.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, real quick, man, if you are able to go to the camp this year,
uh-huh.
give us your top 3 camp battles. No specific order. Give us your top 3 camp battles that you want to see.
So camp battles.
And why?
So camp battles like player versus player, or camp battle like I'm trying to climb the depth chart to take your spot camp battles?
Yes, sir. Depth chart starter camp battle.
Okay. Depth chart.
I'm coming to get your spot.
Okay. I really want to know what's gonna happen at right defensive end. That's gonna be super interesting. Okay. That's gonna be a mixture of Randy, Alden, Crawford, and like Joe Jackson might be in there or something. That's gonna be a crazy fight. The center position, is gonna be ridiculous this year. It's gonna be a mixture of Connor McGovern, Tyler Badass, and Joe Looney. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a crazy little fight. A lot of things can happen there. We'll see.
Come on, ain't gonna be no fight with Joe Looney, man. Come on.
I agree, but Joe but
he gonna get the first shot. He gonna get the first shot because he been there. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get the first shot.
Hey man,
you know, camaraderie sake. But
I agree.
I just don't. Mm-hmm. I think that Tyler Badass, man. I think that cat's stronger than Joe Looney. You know, waking up in the morning brushing his teeth.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course, 100%.
At the bed, and I think that's what's gonna get Joe Looney, man. He don't have strong base. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you got to have it at the center position. You got to have a strong base, man. I don't think you got enough power.
Sure. And honestly, that's why I like McGovern and Tyler, because they're both powerful guys playing center. I used to like Joe till I saw Ndamukong Suh picked him up and just dropped him on top of Zeke. I was a big fan of Joe Looney till that happened, but I gotta leave. I gotta leave Joe, man.
Hey, after that happened, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. Mm-hmm. Before that happened, man, in that Rams game, he was walking around there he was a big Zeke, putting on Zeke jerseys and go out and practice, laughing and joking. Man, after Ndamukong Suh picked that joke up and took him to Mars and dropped him back down on Earth, he ain't laughed no more. He ain't been the same since.
Who you telling?
He knows it's over with for him, Cat. It's just that one play to me. You know, when you see that happen to a man, when a grown man do you like that, bro, it's just no.
I'm going home, quitting football and all that. I don't want to be on this team no more. I just want to forget everything that happened, sir.
Hey, it's kind of like the same. You remember Blindside? You remember when a boy was driving that cat to the bus?
Yeah.
When was it Okor? What was his name? Okor?
Who
was driving that cat? He was blocking that guy, and he was driving him to the bus. He was blocking him all the way to the bus.
Yeah. I don't know his name, but yeah.
Yeah, that kind of receiving end. That's how your boy Jumbo Joe was, man. But I don't see him. Starting. I think he may get the first shot. I think Tyler Beyond is gonna he's gonna be the starting center.
Joe is a really good backup, and we should be happy to have him. But can't be my first center, dog. Can't be my first center.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, look, man. Hey, I'm gonna get off here, man. I'm gonna get back in that chat, man. Let some more callers call in, and man, appreciate what you do. I don't have to tell you that because you already know. You already know how you do it, man. You just can't get this thing.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. That means a lot to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What? I almost hit the wrong button. I almost ended the stream. Let me get Brother Von off the phone. I almost ended the stream trying to hang up on Von. See, this the problem. See, at first I had Mac fingers, and now I'm trying to transition into PC fingers. But I'm still running the live stream on my Mac or whatever because I haven't gotten all my stuff to set up my PC stuff just yet. So now I'm using both. Y'all pray for me, man. We're gonna be all right though. Great call from Young Will Steele and Brother Von. If y'all want to call into the show to give y'all thoughts on training camp, other little battles and stuff, y'all call into the show, man. 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. And I think the third battle that we all want to see, Brother Von, kind of, got up out of here though. Cornerback, man. I think we want to see what the whole cornerback fight is gonna look like, and I don't think it was gonna be a real conversation until Diggs got drafted, and I think Diggs is gonna be the one that's gonna be giving the boys the problems. I honestly think that, I think that guys like Chris Westry, good luck, player. Good luck to you, player. I have my list pulled up. Let me see who else playing cornerback here. Let's see who else on here. Let's see. No, that's the old one, player. That's the old one. Let's go to what's the current one as of 2020. Let's see what we got. Daryl Worley, Dante Burton. I don't know who that. Savion Smith. Yes, that's your arena ball guy, Alabama guy. C.J. Goodwin is a special teams guy. Chris Westry, holla at you. Maurice Canaday, holla at you. Reggie Robinson's going to be pretty good for us one day, I'd imagine, but as of now, he's going to be a special teams guy. Cheeto Jordan, Anthony and Trevin. Yeah, so I mean, and listen, we got a roster full of people right now, but boy, we got to cut at least 8 of y'all, 20 of y'all. I don't know how many people this is, but we got some people to cut, player. We got some people to cut. We only got 55 spots. For those of you that are tuning in late, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Don't forget we got film after this. So, stay tuned. And, to call into the show, the number's on the screen and it's in the description. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. So, I just said on the phone a little bit ago when I was talking to Young Steel, right? I was like, how bad was Chris Richard really? Like, how bad was he for real? In my personal opinion, I think Chris Richard was so bad, I think the NFL Illuminati planted him on this team to keep us out of the playoffs. Like, I feel that terribly about Chris Richard, and I've always felt that way about Chris. I was never on that whole I like him because he's screaming bandwagon, because I've seen screaming coaches lose before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell people, didn't have a lot of coach diversity in their life, man. They're like, oh, Voch, he's screaming. That dude is it. No, he's not. He's screaming because his players messing up. He's screaming because his players messing up. If his players was playing well, he wouldn't have to be screaming. Of course, Chris Richard was hoarse. Of course, his head was hurting. His veins was popping out. Anthony Brown looking like he falling down. It's like, of course. Where's the safety? Where was the free safety on that play? He was where you told him to line up. But you want to scream. Chris Richard. Anyway, so going to my Mike McCarthy portion of this of my thumbnail or whatever, I just want to talk about coaching a little bit, right? How much involvement do we get from coaches, and how much do we really want? Damn, Voch, man, Voch, you gotta say it again. Voch, you gotta say it again, just in case they wouldn't listen. Everybody, push your headphones real close to your ear, and just let. How much involvement do we really want? You know what I'm saying? Example. Al Harris is going to come in and be the cornerbacks coach. I want him to get super involved with my corners. Super involved. I need my cornerback positions to be addressed and filled and just accordingly, drastically. What about my offensive line though? When Philbin comes in, I think there's a real question that you got to ask, right? When you're an offensive or when you're a new coach in general, you're either gonna come through and ask questions, or you're gonna make suggestions. I'll say it again. If you're a new coach, you're only gonna do one of two things. You're gonna ask questions, or you're gonna make suggestions. If you're a new head coach and you come in, if you're the new running backs coach, you don't suggest Zeke does anything differently. You ask Zeke questions. Hey Zeke, what do you like to do? What's some of the? Yeah, well, okay, cool. Well, so what's your routine? What do you think of? What do you think? Sanjay Law came in and started to mess with a good thing. Let Amari Cooper do what he do. He's Amari Cooper. Let him do what he do. Ever since my wide receivers had to carry bricks after practice, all of a sudden we leading the league in drops. All of a sudden we carry stone bricks at heavy ass concrete stone bricks, Sanjay Law. Now we can't catch a pass. I find it interesting, right? Offensive line, Philbin. I was talking about you. You don't ask Tyron Smith to make suggestions. You don't ask La'el Collins. I mean, pardon me. You don't suggest anything to Tyron Smith or La'el Collins or Zach Martin. You want those guys to do what they do. If you have some advice for Connor Williams or one of the centers, that's your job. That's your job to get involved with those guys. And I think that's what the new coaches are here for, to deal with the guys that kind of need to be dealt with. Connor McGovern needs some coaching. Badass Connor Williams needs some coaching. Tyron Smith just need to be left alone on his veteran day. You know, Tyron Smith just need to go get back therapy so his back feels good. La'el needs his day off. Zach Martin needs his knees to be iced. But besides that, that's it. That's it. What's another example? Let me see. If you're because all the cornerbacks need help. All the cornerbacks need help. Linebackers, right? If I'm the new linebacker coach, I want to have a long conversation with Sean Lee first. I want to have a long conversation with Sean Lee, because Sean Lee damn near probably coach better than me. Probably, if I'm the linebacker coach. Hey, Sean, what you think we should be doing, man? What's the vibes here, Sean? This is what we do nowadays, Sean. This is what they're trying to do, Sean. What kind of recommendations you got for us, Sean? On the other hand, if I'm the linebackers coach and I watch a little bit of film and I see Jalen Smith trying to play hero ball, I gotta tap Jalen Smith on the shoulder and be like, Jalen, we can't have hero ball. You know? So I'm asking you guys in the chat box. I'm kind of looking at y'all right now. Let me just see what y'all got to say about this, man. Well, who needs the most coaching? But who needs to be left the hell alone? I think we know the clear, obvious guys that need to be left alone. You know? Linebackers, why are there only 7 off the ball linebackers? Well, I mean, we might not need them. We may play majority nickel. And some of your outside linebackers nowadays, maybe some of your old pass rushers. So maybe we don't need more than 7 off the ball linebackers. And that's more so of a question about the numbers on the team and not the coaching necessarily. But I feel what you're saying. I reckon I feel what you're saying. Jerry Rice carried bricks and didn't drop passes. Well, see, boy, we ain't got Jerry Rice on this team. we got Amari Cooper, we got Michael Gallup, and we got CeeDee Lamb. We ain't got Jerry Rice. I know that when they carry bricks, they all of a sudden drop all the passes. They wasn't dropping all the passes prior to carrying bricks. So that's my only logic with that. Chat box, what y'all got? Let me just kind of check in with y'all, see what y'all talking about. Interior D-line? Sure. Interior D-line. I'd imagine you wouldn't say much to Gerald McCoy, though. I'd imagine. But I don't know what Gerald McCoy really brings for you. I don't know how much Gerald McCoy really got in the tank. Like, Gerald McCoy is a veteran, but I don't think Gerald McCoy is somebody that's like, I'm Gerald McCoy, I'm set in stone. Don't say nothing to me. I think we can say a lot about Gerald McCoy because he didn't really give us a lot of Tampa Bay Gerald McCoy when he was in Carolina. I think Dontari's straight. Dontari, all he got to do is be 340 pounds, big and strong as hell. That's all Dontari got to do. But if you got like Antoine Woods, like I said, Tristan Hill needs a lot of help. Tristan Hill needs all the help you can find for him. Go to Walmart and just clean that row out. Neville Gallimore, of course, all the rookies. I think that's implied. That's clear. All the rookies. But just to get back into the earlier kind of little situation or whatever, you need Dorrance Armstrong and Joe Jackson to be better than they were last year. You need them to be better than they were last year. Brother Vaughn, right in front of his comment, TLW says, do I think Bradley Anai is going to take Armstrong's spot? I don't think Anai and Armstrong are directly in competition, because if Armstrong wins the battle, I don't think Bradley Anai gets cut. If Bradley wins the battle, Armstrong definitely gets cut. So I don't think they're directly competing with each other. I think Armstrong is competing with Alden. I think those two guys are in the competition with each other. I think Alden and Randy are against Armstrong and Joe Jackson for the tag team champions of the world. I think that's the real conversation. So we'll see. We'll see. Also, Tom Sula, hey man, whatever little magic trick you got, whatever water bottle with Michael's secret stuff that you got to get from Bugs Bunny to get Alden Smith back on track, knowing damn well Alden Smith hadn't even played sober yet, we finally get a sober Alden Smith. Shh. Yeah. Let's see, man. Let's see what happens, bro. Brandon from Frankly Football. Howdy, sir.
How you doing, Voch?
Doski Woski, my sir. What you got for the show?
So you just mentioned it, and I wish I would have got in before you said it, but I feel like
I cover all bases, player. I cover all bases, player. Come on, man. You can't wait around on me, dog. Come on. Well, go ahead.
Tom Sula has the hardest job of any position coach on this team right now, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Because besides D-Law, man, he got his hands full.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Does he have the hardest job, or does he have the job with the most writing on it right now?
Both.
I think we got a lot of eggs in that right defensive end, or that D line. We have a lot of eggs in that D line must improve basket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But go ahead though. Go ahead.
He has to, teach Randy and Alden. Well, Alden and hopefully Randy. Mm-hmm. I'm an optimist. He has to teach them how to get back to the game again. He has to rehabilitate them. Sure. Even though they're grown men. Sure. He has to get something in the interior. We don't know if Poe and McCoy are going to fit into this scheme just quite yet. So he has to get them in position to succeed. All of this while not being on this team last year. And, that part, every coach on the team does have against him. Mm-hmm. But he has a lot on his plate right now. Sure. And one that I don't think people think about much is tight ends coach, Lunda, however you pronounce his name, Lunda Wells.
Sure. What's his face? Yeah. Yeah.
So he ain't got Jason Witten, with all of the experience to help groom all of the young guys anymore. Well, even though we know Jason kind of held the other guys back during his tenure.
Oh, boy.
But anyway, we don't know what this tight end position will be. We hope that Blake Jarwin will, be the next big thing. But we don't quite know that yet.
But you know what, though, Brandon? This is my thing, though. Blake ain't got to be the next big thing. He just got to not fall down in slow motion when he catch the football. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. If he just
waste 8 seconds on a reception.
If he run forward and fall down, and just be better than Witten. It ain't hard to be better than Witten. People like, well, Voch, what are we gonna do about Blake as a blocker? Witten wasn't a great blocker neither. We straight.
Yeah, and besides, that's not Jarwin's job. That's what we got Blake Bell for.
Sure, go ahead.
Blake Bell just came from a Super Bowl.
Sure,
blocking.
Mm-hmm.
We already know he's not the best receiver. But that's not why we got him here.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't mean that the coach doesn't have to try to work with him. 100%. And we don't know if that's going to succeed yet. So that's why I think that the tight ends coach does have a hard job as well. Mm-hmm. The O-line coach, man, he just needs to, ask guys what they need to make their arms stop hurting.
You need some water.
Stop hurting. That's all he's to do.
You need some water, you good?
Yeah, you need some water.
His job. Hey, look, Philbin job gonna be to bring snacks to the O-line meeting. He ain't gotta change much. He's good. He don't need nothing else.
Yeah, make sure the slash still looks good.
Yeah.
That's all he gotta do. Mm. One thing that I've been thinking about though, as far as the O-line is concerned, and I'm dropping a O-line film study tonight.
Oh, what you?
Hey man, I'm doing some things now.
What you gonna be doing? Because you know I'm O-line guy, and I will be super critical of you.
So, going into camp,
Okay.
our line is going to be, as it stands right now, the same line that we had in 2018, with the exception of Connor Williams and Lyle Collins being miles ahead better than what they were before. So what I did is I took some games. Houston in particular is the one that I'm dropping tonight.
Right.
And saw, first off, why we don't want Joe Looney as center.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Joe Looney's deficiencies as a lineman.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just broke down what the linemen did then compared to how we can succeed with them now. Specifically, Connor Williams. I feel like he's miles ahead better than where he was in 2018.
Oh.
So that's one of the things that I touched on. And I'm going to have like a comparison in my next video, New Orleans 2018 versus New Orleans 2019. Connor Williams then and now.
Well, sir, you know I'm a huge – Go ahead.
No, please.
I'm a huge offensive line fan, sir, and I just take offensive line very serious. So I will be watching your video with great vengeance and furious anger, sir. And I hope everything that you say is appropriate, and I hope that all of your research is it's proper. I'm rooting for you, Brandon. I'm rooting for you. But I will let you have it over this offensive line talk, sir. But go ahead.
Hey, man. Hey, give me the facts.
All right.
I'm here for that.
All right.
But I think that the offensive line coach only has to worry about the guys that we're trying to build up.
Mm-hmm.
McGovern, Tyler Badass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just say that because I don't know how to say his real name.
And
to a lesser extent, Connor Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to hear anyone, like you said, tell Tyron Smith, well, maybe you should, put your hands here.
Right.
No, let Tyron just throw people all over the place. Let Lyle Collins just, put that Louisiana strength on people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to hear. So I feel like he probably has, outside of the quarterback and running backs coach, the easiest job on the team.
We'll see, player. We'll see. I appreciate it. Shout out your YouTube channel and all that.
Me and another one of Voch's frequent callers, Set It Off Chris.
Okay.
We have the YouTube channel, Frankly Football.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be plugging it as soon as I get off my phone. And tonight we are dropping O-line film. Please go to that channel, like the video, subscribe it. Please watch it. Good quality content.
So listen, this is my thing, right? You just can't introduce him as Chris. You got to introduce him as Set It Off Chris. Because when I took a look at y'all,
that's what I did.
That's
what I did. Roll back the tape.
I'm saying it was a handful of videos I clicked on. I clicked on more than one. When y'all was breaking down the roster, you was like, "It's me, and that's Chris." I'm like, "No, that's Set It Off Chris." So let's just be appropriate there. But all right, Brand,
I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Thank you.
Hey, and one thing I want to leave you on, just so you can kind of discuss that among yourself.
Yes, sir.
How hard do you think Don Fossil's job will be, and what does he have to do? And I'm gonna let you discuss that one while I'm off the phone.
Appreciate it, Playboy. Salute.
Have a good one.
Yep. How hard do I think John Fossil's job is gonna be? We got two callers. The
conference has been locked.
Uncle Charlie, you up next, and Actually, we're gonna get Space Cowboy up next, and we're gonna end with Uncle Charlie. Because y'all know we got to end the show with Uncle Charlie. I think Fossil got the hardest job, honestly. Brandon was saying that Tom Sula may have the hardest job. I don't think Tom Sula got the hardest job. Tom Sula's job is to stay on top of, Randy and Alden and make sure that they are who we think that they can be. But that's easy because they don't have to be current to be great. They roll out the bed and be great. You just got to make sure that and it ain't like the weed smoke going to get them suspended or nothing like that. So, now pass rush is a very important position to this team. So his job is pivotal. It's very important. There's a lot riding on it. But Fossil getting this special teams unit from 32nd, that's the hard job. That's the problem. Give my quarterback some field position so we can go score some points, you heard? That's what we need. Space Cowboy up next. Uncle Charlie, you on deck, so let's run it for the cardio. What up, Cardo?
What's going on, Voch? How are you doing today?
Everything, my guy. What you got for the show?
Not so much. I just had a quick question. What are your overall thoughts on DeMarcus Lawrence at this point in time?
I think Cowboy fans are incredibly ungrateful. When we're talking about DeMarcus Lawrence, you know the funny thing about D-Law, like if you think about football structure, right? If you think about position theory, the theory is that your strong side defensive end, his job is to stop the run, and your weak side guy is your pass rush sack getter. So it's interesting. The 1 year he doesn't get double-digit sacks, but he's the second best DN versus the run, even being the first most double-team DN in the league. All of a sudden, D-Law is trash to Cowboy fans now, and it makes my ass itch. It makes me sick. His job is to be great versus you know what makes him the strong side defensive end? Being on the strong side of the formation. 9 times out of 10, you know what's on the strong side of the formation? Tight ends. You know what's not on the weak side of the formation? Tight ends. You know what I'm saying? So if DeMarcus Lawrence is getting double teamed, why aren't you asking more of your 3 techs and your 1 techs that are getting single blocked, not getting sacks and pressure? That's who you get pissed off at. D-Law is doing his job. When D-Law was getting double-digit sacks, that's just a luxury. When he getting double-digit sacks, that's the cherry on top. That's the sprinkles when he's getting double-digit sacks. So D-Law getting 5 and being the second best, being the second best DN in the league versus the run, that's what he's valuable for. Plus coming off labrum surgery. Surgery. Not even on time labrum surgery. It ain't like he had the surgery in January and he was going to be ready for the season. He had that shit in like July. And he had to like play through injuries or whatever. I want Cowboy fans to just get off of D-Law. He's going to be a very pivotal part of our defense. And maybe if we can get some sacks from the damn 3 tech, maybe if we can, do what we supposed to do at the right defensive end spot, then maybe D-Law will get some sack numbers back. But we shouldn't be ungrateful for what he did last year. But go ahead, sir.
No, I completely agree with you. It's because it's funny that I asked you this because I just wanted your overall opinion because I dropped a piece talking about, okay, well, is DeMarcus Lawrence worth the money? Because, okay, let's see if people are really making this stuff up. And guess what? 9 times out of 10 they are, because if you look at the statistics, number one, D-Law has the most double teams, or top 5 more so, when it comes to double teams, and he's still an effective pass rusher, or rather an effective defensive end, if you want to put it in that matter. Not only that, people don't also consider the fact that he also opens up the lane for other guys on the other side, i.e. Robert Quinn and Randy Gregory, who Robert Quinn got, 11.5 sacks, and then Randy Gregory got, 8 in 2018? So it's like, of course he's going to open up other people to get that opportunity. The thing that bothers me the most, Voch, is the fact that people will be like, oh, well, he isn't as good as Khalil Mack, or he's not as good as Bum. I'm like, that's like comparing apples to oranges. You can't compare a 3-4 linebacker to a defensive end. You can't do that. Like, I can understand, like, I get it, oh, well, they both got to get the quarterback. I understand that. The problem is you can't compare a 3-4 linebacker who plays in a different scheme to a 4-3 defensive end because, again, they do different things. DeMarcus Lawrence is a defensive end. He's the top-paid defensive end. And guess what? When you look at all the other guys that are in his same position group, he's one of the more productive guys. There's a guy on the Panthers, Kwan Short. I'm not sure if you recall or know who he is.
Sure.
But the guy's getting paid like $19 million, and he only has 3 sacks, and he's only played in 16 games over the past 2 years.
Yep.
And people want to get on D-Law for not, like, being worth the money. Like, come on, man.
And another tidbit.
That's just – oh, go on.
Another tidbit. Every single year, D-Law has had more tackles for loss, and sacks than Clowney every single year.
Yeah.
All of them, just, all the years. I think like 1 year he wasn't healthy and he played like 3 games or something. But even the years where he only played 13, he was better than Clowney them years too. Like just in all numbers. I don't understand.
Yeah, and it's just, again, it's like I could understand if you were comparing him to other defensive ends and he wasn't being productive, but he is being productive. I mean, compared to the other people that are getting paid, it's like I just find it ridiculous seeing all these people trying to get on D-Law being like, oh, he's trash, or oh, he's overrated, he doesn't have a lot of sacks. I'm like, I just facepalm because it's like you don't understand what a defensive end does. Like it's like if you or oh my god or this I watch the eye test and I don't see him getting double teamed. I'm like, do you see how many tight ends are on his side of the ball? Do you see how many times he's got to deal with that crap? Like, come on, man. Like that's just like, oh my god.
Right.
It's just like unreal.
It's frustrating.
I don't understand it.
It's very, very frustrating dealing with this damn fan base sometimes. It just makes me sick.
I swear. But yeah, man. I think, look, anyone out there that's giving you, not you particularly, Voch, I'm talking to the chat. If anyone's giving you issues about DeMarcus Lawrence, just let them know, hey, look up some other people that are at his position and take a look at what they're doing. And I guarantee you that they can't retort back what you're going to say or what they should say, because guess what? When you compare them to other positions, that's the problem. Like, again, if someone starts telling you, oh, well, he's not as good as Vom, just stop. It's like, just stop the conversation, because it's like, you can't, or like when they bring up Aaron Donald, I'm like, oh my God, you cannot, you can't bring up Aaron Donald. He's a defensive tackle. Yes, yeah, he's on the defensive line.
And I tell you what,
like a freaking.
And I tell you what, when Ndamukong Suh left, Aaron Donald looked a little different. He wasn't getting,
hell yeah.
He wasn't just getting 20 sacks. Now he's still great, but he wasn't getting 20 sacks with Ndamukong Suh not there. So hey, hey. Fair enough.
Like, I guess, like, and I'll end on this because I want you to get to your final caller.
Sure.
My whole thing is like, DeMarcus Lawrence is doing his job, and a lot of people don't understand that his job is also to help his teammates around him do better. Right? It's not his fault that we don't have enough baconators on our defensive line to stuff the run effectively or get to the quarterback. Right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's on the job of the front office getting those types of guys, which luckily they did. Now, I know you mentioned Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe earlier in the show. It's like, we're not expecting these guys to be like all pros. I wish they were, but we're just asking them to do their job.
That's it.
Right? And like, if you got a guy in Randy Gregory that comes back and he's doing his thing, cool. That's all we're looking for. And guess what? DeMarcus Lawrence is that guy on your defense that's going to open up those opportunities. And I think that the Cowboys are definitely going to benefit from that. Who knows what this scheme's going to look like, too? Because if it's a hybrid scheme, who knows? Maybe DeMarcus. I think he's going to have a pretty damn good season. I think he's going to get his numbers back up. And guess what? We're not asking for him to get yeah, it would be cool to get those sack numbers in the double digits.
Sure.
But again, like, it's just he needs to help the team out, and I think he will. Like, I hate it when people compare him also to DeMarcus Ware and Charles Haley. It's like, Charles Haley is probably the closest one, but again, those two guys played linebacker at some point in their career. And interestingly enough, at the same point in time, when it was their fifth and sixth seasons, or the last two seasons that DeMarcus Lawrence played, if you look at that same numbers that Charles Haley had, he's right on par with them. At that same 33 to 30 sacks or whatever the hell.
Wow.
So I just think that people need to realize that DeMarcus Lawrence does a lot more than getting sacks, because that's not, sure, that's a plus, but that's not what defensive ends are mainly supposed to do. So I'll go ahead and plug my stuff real quick.
Go ahead.
If you guys want to go subscribe up to me, you can follow me on Space Cowboy 17 on YouTube. I'll drop a link momentarily down below in the chat. If you want to check out my content, because it helps you fight the I Am Legend monsters in the peanut gallery that exists in our fan base. So by all means, check it out. All right, Voch, I'll let you get to your final caller, man. Thank you so much, man.
You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Let me tell y'all how dope Space Cowboy is, right? Let me tell you how hilarious, but how fire he is at marketing, right? He'll come in here, right? He'll be like, Voch, I got a question for you. I'll be like, what up, Space Cowboy? He'll be like, yeah, Voch, so I got a question about DeMarcus Lawrence, right? I said, go ahead, what you got? So I just did this DeMarcus Lawrence video over my channel, SpaceCowboy17.com, right? Hey, YouTube. And then we'll get into this nuanced discussion about DeMarcus Lawrence. He talk about his opinion about DeMarcus Lawrence, and at the end, he'll plug his channel in the video he did. Space Cowboy know how to do this. He knows how to do this. Let me tell y'all something, man. If If you a YouTuber, you looking for views, dog, my phone lines are open for everybody, and I don't charge money for plugs. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. I don't charge no money for no plugs. So if you a YouTuber, you can get on this phone, sell yourself, and plug your channel. Space Cowboy guy said, "Yo, Voch, let me ask you about this whole D-Law situation. I did this D-Law video, right?" Also, LA Rams, Atlanta Falcons, Seattle Seahawks, possibly Cleveland Browns, Giants twice, Washington twice, Bengals, maybe not Cardinals, maybe not Ravens, not San Francisco. Yeah. So yeah, those are right tackles that I think D-Law can expose and get his sack numbers back up. So that's like what? That's like eight games or so, or something like that. And then of course he gonna kind of get his in the other little spots or whatever. I think he has plenty of opportunities to get this done. So D-Law will be fine in the sack department. Hey man, did y'all see the new Dave Chappelle, dog? Did y'all see the new Dave Chappelle, dog? Come on now. Hey, come on now. I'm just up at 3:00 in the morning last night, just watching, Anyway, let's get the last call in, then we're gonna get into the chat box, then we're gonna go watch some film as a family, as a unit, you heard? Don't get caught by the little bitty boy, man. Uncle Charlie, what's happening, man?
Man, what's going on, man? How you doing, bro?
Everything all good, Uncle. What's good with you? How you been doing?
Man, I was looking for you to come on last night, man. I was so hurt.
Okay.
I was so hurt. I said, I just hope you come on tonight.
Right.
Thank God I hear your voice, man. I know you're all right and you will.
Mm-hmm.
And just want to get into something with you, man. And, with all this protesting going on, it's kind of been hard to kind of process everything.
Mm-hmm.
But let me get into something that you really do know about.
Okay.
Jerry Judy posted a video on live yesterday showing his moves, his workout thing.
Right.
And he put at the bottom, LOL, sweet feet. I said, well, you better hope Rick Ryan don't get that video, because he'll be in the room buck naked looking at that man's feet and looking at that man work out. Look, man, this joke was love snap before. This joke was a cheeseburger eating free. I don't know what it is. If he want to smell shoes and stuff, I got a friend of mine worked at my job named Jack, and he can smell them, and I guess he won't smell nothing else no more, because he'll be dead. So we need to get up off him, and now I want to talk about Tristan Hill. Tristan Hill is a talent. You know, man, you discussed that he's a talent. But he don't listen, man. I think he's a little bit lazy. But Neville Gallimore is coming. He is coming, and he's going to take your spot. And when he do, you're going to be down there, Krispy Kreme donuts down there, eating biscuits and cereal all day till your stove ran over your head. Now I got two questions. Who do you think we need to start at kickoff return, and who is your number one safety? I got to get it up to you. You got to give me this final answer on that. So go ahead and give it to me, Voch.
Uncle Charlie, you say that Tristan Hill gonna get lazy, go to Krispy Kreme and eat biscuits and sleep. That what you say?
Yeah, he's gonna be wrestling alligators on YouTube. Ask Mount Dakota where he is.
Uncle Charlie, you say
yes, sir.
You say Rex Ryan gonna be butt naked in the hotel room looking at Jerry Judy feet. That what you say?
Yeah, exactly, man. I don't know what it is. Let me tell you something. Don't go in no grocery store. You better have your shoes tied on good.
Okay. You asked me about Tristan Hill. What'd you say?
Yes, sir.
Tristan talented, man. Tristan got a real good first step. Tristan got long arms. Tristan just need to lose the boy fat and get some man muscle. But hopefully he been doing that. You know what I'm saying, just working out somewhere or whatever. But I just think Tristan Hill had to get bigger and strong, and I think he's kind of done that already. I'm not ready to give up on him, because last year when they did play him, they played him at one tech. He's not a natural one tech. He's a three tech. He's an under tackle. So put him in B gap and let him fly. You know what I'm saying? And what's your other question?
Yes, sir. But I'm trying to figure out who Tristan Hill is. Is he wearing a pepper, or is he a Toys R Us kid? You need to make up your mind. Or do you need some Similac? Grow up, young man, or you won't have your job long. You don't want to be knocked down to a third string or put on a Cleveland Brown team that you probably ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So I'm going to say in my closing, We need to get along in this country. What happened to George, man, was wrong. We are better than that as a society.
Yeah.
We need to love on one another. We might have different cultures, but we can learn to get along and learn each other's cultures and understand and respect each other and do the right thing for us human beings. And I just want to tell all the Cowboy fans, whatever you do, do not let Rex Ryan in your house, because you ain't going to have no shoes, because he's going to take them off.
Uncle Charlie.
And I love you, bro.
Love you too, man. You're a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, look, I don't know if a lot of y'all know about Uncle Charlie, man. I don't know if y'all know about Uncle Charlie, man. Uncle Charlie, a couple of weeks ago, he said if you go to a beauty pageant and they do the swimsuit contest, but instead of a swimsuit, the girl got on Timberland boots. She's not a model, she's a terrorist. Uncle Charlie a damn fool, man. Damn, Uncle Charlie definitely comes to the barbecue, bro. Damn, dog. And he asked me another question too. He asked me who's the number one safety on this team. I think so far Clinton Dix and Xavier Woods going to be your first two safeties out. But, boy, competition changes everything. Competition will change. It'll change everything. Anyway, he's right, man. We got to love each other, bro. We got to love each other. Even if we come from different cultures, different parts of the world, we got to love each other. I don't understand it. Me personally, I don't understand it. I listen to Phil Collins and I watch a Tom Hanks movie. I can't just imagine hating on those two people just because. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. You know, if you love people, you learn more from them. And you know, if you learn more from them, you can take something and appreciate them. You know, let's just appreciate each other is what Uncle Charlie was saying. It don't take much to appreciate each other. That's all. Anyway, so chat box. What I would like to do is open the chat box up for you all to ask questions. I know everybody can't call into the phones. Some of y'all at work like Enemy Michael. Some of y'all have talked up your anytime minutes, anytime. Some of you, I agree, Jamal. Some of you can't call in because, you know, your wife or your significant other needs peace and quiet in the house. Whatever your reason for not being able to call, I'm opening up the chat box to you. Then after that, we're going to go watch some film. We'll probably do this till, let's say 9:15 to be a good little mark. Let's see. So what are your questions? Brother Von, go on YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel. Netflix is a joke. Dave Chappelle got a new special up there, man. It wasn't even comedy really. Like it was just him talking and I listened and he just made very profound points. You know what I'm saying? And he mixed in a handful of jokes here and there, but I think Dave Chappelle is revolutionizing, or at least he's innovating what comedy is, or the idea of a stand-up. So check that out. Dag Attack say first and foremost, Vacho, thank you for your time. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Salute. Did I do that collage on this or on that? Let me get my thumbnail straight. Anyway, yes, chat box. I'm listening. Where we at? What y'all got? What the vibes is? I never have any questions or any need to call in, Voch. He says how I see it 99% of the time. Appreciate it, Mr. Wright. Appreciate it. You know, I like to get thorough with this thing, man. I like to get real comprehensive, you know. And sometimes I'll not go live because I don't have anything thorough to talk about. Koye Media taught me that. Koye don't go live. He don't talk unless he got something to talk about. I kind of like that about him. So I stay chilling. I still think you're sleeping on Watson. I think Watson's really good. It's just that the people that like Deshaun Watson don't like my criticisms of him. But good quarterbacks have criticism. I think Deshaun Watson's a good quarterback. I just have my critiques of him. I just don't think people like my critiques of him. When people talk about trading away a late first round pick, remember that pick could be Cody Ford. 100% Cody Ford is fantastic. You hear me? You hear me what I say? Who are your 9 offensive linemen that are making the team? I just had the depth chart pulled up and I closed it. Big 5. Well, we don't have an idea of who that 5th is. So let's say McGovern is the center of the Big 5. So Big 5, I think Badass is going to be in there. So that's 6. Damn, I got to pull this up. I got to pull this up. You're my lady. Our lads. Let's see. Let's see. Offensive line. Let's go. Tyron, Connor, Zach, Lael, Badass, McGovern. That's 6. Hyatt might be 7. Knight might be 8. Looney might be 9. Nope. Take out Looney and put in Cam Irvin because Cam Irvin can swing everywhere. Yeah, that's my 9. If I had to pick 9, I don't think it's gonna be 9, but that's my pick. Jalen Williams says, "What's your objective opinion on the full Eagles team?" I think the Illuminati needs an enemy for the Cowboys. So I do think the Eagles get hyped up a little bit. I think the Eagles just had a terrible draft. I think the Eagles can be good on offense if they stay true to what they are. If they want to be a predominantly run-based team, then fine. I like running the team through Miles Sanders. Carson Wentz likes running the team through Miles Sanders. But if you put a little bit too much in Carson, you get what happened in the Dolphins game last year. Carson liked to do Carson things like misreads and scramble left. It happens all the time. Carson hold the ball too long sometimes. I think your receiving core has a lot of speed. If we was running track, that'll be scary. We playing football, so we'll see. I think Darius Slay poses a problem to Amari Cooper. I don't think the Eagles should have used those draft picks on receivers. I think y'all should have used them draft picks on corners and safety and linebacker. Not my business. Fletcher Cox is fantastic, but he's getting really old. Eagles' offensive line has kind of lived on the body of good offensive line, but I think they're also aging. Plus, I don't think Andre Diller's ready to start just yet. So, Eagles cool. They straight. We'll see what happens. I also think the Eagles got a lot of credit because they went to the playoffs last year. But they was like 9-7. If Cowboys wasn't whack, they'll be less than that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens though. Every year is different. So run the ball through Miles Sanders and see what happens. Is Jamal talking to me? Says, yeah, you don't want to talk about Trent Williams. What about Trent Williams? What do you do? I don't like Jamal. I don't like how you talk to me, player. I don't like how you talking to me. I don't. I need some respect from you, player. But when do you address the punter position? Chris Jones is bad. I think they said Chris had a groin injury or something like that. So I don't know. Would you pay Dak $40 million? I don't think Dak is asking for $40 million. I think Dak's number is going to be closer to 46 or 47. Let's see. What else y'all got? Okay, I just answered. You think Badass is legit long-term center? Yes. I don't think this year, but I think Tyler would be great in his career. Yes. Who's the most interesting player going into camp? CeeDee Lamb player. The Eagles receivers got to catch to have success, and they can't catch a cold. I think they're lacking route runners and security guys. And I think Carson. I was trying to make this point on Twitter. I was like, I thought the Eagles should have drafted Justin Jefferson because, in my opinion, Jefferson was better than Rager. but the Eagles fans were trying to get me to understand that the Eagles like needed speed or whatever. Like Jefferson ain't fast. But what I think Carson Wentz is better at, I don't like Carson Wentz as a take a chance guy. I like Carson Wentz better as I can just get the ball to you and you secure the catch and we move the offense along. As long as the offense is on a rhythm, Carson is fine, which is why his tight ends are productive. And for some reason they say drafting the slot's a bad idea because Ertz plays in the slot. Well, just put Ertz at tight end or just put him in line where he could be or put him on the other side of the field and just play Jefferson at slot and just move on with your life. So, that's just that. Howie Roseman is good at scouting other teams' talent and takes advantage of them. Yeah, sure, probably. Big Game James talking mad noise. What you gonna do? I'm paying $20 to the winner of y'all's 1-on-1. So let me just say this, bro. And for anybody that's listening, we're having a charity, like flag or touch football game or some of that nature. You know, James putting the rules together, whatever. But on the side, James wants to go 1-on-1 with Voch. If James is playing defensive back against Voch, I'm not like no super athlete or nothing, but football wasn't that long ago for me. Plus, I think I got a little mental nuance about this thing. Plus, I'm a competitor. So, plus, I'm obsessive. I'm super obsessive. So, James gonna have to see me. And if I'm the captain of my team, James gonna have to see me. He gonna have to come see me play. You're gonna press Big Game James through the ground. Nah, I'm not gonna use strength in a wide receiver versus DB situation. Not gonna be I'm gonna use technique. I'm gonna use nuance, and I'm gonna use thinking. And of course, I'm gonna run a little bit. Like I'm not Amari Cooper with my feet, but I'm gonna use the tools that I'm good at. And those would be the tools that I consider myself good at. Let me click. Damn, go back. All right, let me click that link and get ready to post that up in there. What else y'all got in these last few seconds? Am I not allowed? Nah, Jamal, you allowed to be here. You come through on all the shows, and I honestly think that the Cowboys might be your second favorite team or something like that. You're absolutely allowed to be here. I just don't feel like your shenanigans right now. Like, for example, right earlier, you was like, what games will the Cowboys, what will the Cowboys' most difficult games be and why? Well, Jamal, what you want me to say is you either want me to give the 49ers props or you want me to say something crazy about the 49ers so that we can get into a shouting match. I don't feel like it. So I ignored that comment, and then like 8 comments later, you was like, do you think Dak will tear up the 49ers defense? You see what I'm saying? I don't feel like fussing. So I'm ignoring you, Jamal. Now, if you had another question that didn't require fussing, I mean, we could talk. But I just see your 49er baiting, and I just don't feel like it. Cesar Sanchez, he says he's been training. Well, I hope James is training because his ACL is 50. He's an old man. Of course, I hope he's training. If he's not training, it's gonna be worse because we're gonna bring the cameras out and we're gonna boogie. So I hope James training. Shit. What up, Voch? First time here. Saw you in law yesterday. What's up, fam? What up, Young Pete? Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're gonna do a lot of big things here in terms of the infrastructure of the channel. We're gonna make the production better. It's gonna get smooth. I just got this new PC and I'm learning how to operate it or whatever. And I got some things to get done, man, in terms of graphics and overlays and stuff like that. And I got to get one more piece of technology so I can plug my good camera into the computer so I can get a good live stream visual on the camera. It's gonna be fun, man. It's going to be dope, and it's going to be top tier. But, hey, peep this out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is the link to my film session that I just dropped, Azur Kamara and Terrence Steele. They're two undrafted free agents by the Cowboys. One is a pass rusher, outside linebacker / pass rusher. The other is an offensive lineman. I only wanted to do Kamara, but people were inquisitive about Steele. So I did a film session on Azur Kamara and Terrence Steele. So that's what it. Let's see. Look at that. Look. Jimmy G gonna throw for 300 yards, and 3 touchdowns against the Cowboy defense. How many times has he done that? How many times has Jimmy Garoppolo done that? Whatever, man. I don't feel like fuzz. Jamal, shouts out to you, fam. Shouts out to you for being here. Appreciate you for watching. Hey, I appreciate all y'all for tuning in, though, man. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Whiskey. Shouts out to all my Patreon people, my PayPal people. Shouts out to my Cash App folks. Everything that y'all put into that is going directly into the production of the channel, and that next piece is going to be for the stream, to make the stream better than what it is. All right, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and Peasky Whiskey. Let's go watch film, man. Click that link. Peace.